what's going on, everybody? So we are wrapping up our job out in Spring Hill. This job, she was having problems with water coming into this back room along here. She's had problem with rot along here. We went ahead and installed the drainage. She's gonna need some grading in her yard. The all this dirt was brought up and it was above the foundation and above the siding. Even the pavers here were even about 1.5 inches above the siding, so any water that did come along onto this patio area was just going over and rotting out her wall there and getting water inside. This window area here, we did some flashing on there for now. I'm just gonna redo this a little later on, but this is gonna keep water from rotting out the tops of these beams and also coming down onto these pavers. So it's gonna be running down into the gutter, and then down into one of our downspout cleanouts that is tied into this channel drain. It's not a whole lot of water that's going to be coming off that roof, so we can run it through the channel drain. That'll also help flush any sand and stuff that does get into the channel drain through. This area here, this is all a French drain, so this water can run and run. Any water that comes up against the comes down the yard here and gets to this area is just going to fall right into that rock and go down into our French drain. This was already dug out from the homeowner, trying to just make a channel for the water to get away from the home. This also, so this what we did, we dug it out a little bit more. We laid down our commercial drainage fabric, and then we put our perforated pipe in through there, and then the drainage rock, and then we close that system up so that way that keeps out all the sand and small sediment so it doesn't get into that French drain. So that way all this rock here acts as a French drain along the whole side of this home. And then during a heavy rain, during tropical storms and stuff like that, or even just those heavy storms that we get that come through and dump a lot of rain all at once, if the French drain gets overwhelmed, we have 3 of our 6-inch inlets with our sediment basins. So this channel drain is also tied into the sediment basin. So what's going to happen is any sand or anything that gets into that system, or the shingle gravel, that will get caught in this sediment basin here. This will also collect any sediment that does fall in, instead of just having an elbow there. I see a lot of times, people are just putting elbows and then no basins. That elbow isn't going to capture any of the dirt or any small particles that fall down into the system that end up building up over time. So you got to have sediment basins. Ours have a 1 gallon capacity. So they allow for a lot more sediment. The big box stores that sell those square ones, the sediment that's allowed to fall in the bottom of them is minimum, because it's only about 1 inch from the bottom of the pipe. We ran the another French drain. This one's separate here along this side, and then we're tying in to one of our sump pumps and sump basins that we use. This is culvert pipe. This is 12-inch culvert pipe that we have a M93 Zoller sump pump. Now this pump, this sump comes over about 1 foot this way, and I believe 4 foot the other way. So it comes from about here to about 1 foot the other way. We do the same thing as we do with a French drain. When we installing our pumps, we dig it out, lay down our drainage fabric, and then set our sump system in there. and then put drainage rock, close that up with the fabric, and then we fill it up with rock again. There's a very small layer of dirt over the top of this system, and on the ends of the culvert pipe is a graded system, graded caps, so that way the system is able to drain after the rain and everything. It's able to drain down in, and also it adds more capacity to it because all of that drainage rock that we added around the outside of it has to fill up also, in order for the basin to fill. And so what this is going to do, this is going to add a lot more life to the pump, because it's not going to be cycling on and off. These pumps pump the water out of there very quickly, especially when you get one of those flimsy basins from the big box stores. They don't hold a lot of water, so it doesn't take a long time for the pump to pump all the water out and then for it to fill back up again. So you're cycling on and off. Where this here, I can't even get this to fill with the hose running. It's been going for about 30 minutes, and with all that drainage rock and then the capacity of the basin itself, I just, it's draining too fast and soaking into the ground in order to cut the pump on. But during a heavy rain, you know, it'll be able to flush enough water in there that, you know, it'll cut the pump on, run it out, and then shut off for a while before it has to come back on again to get that level up. She's gonna get regrading in here a little later on. This other yard got built up higher than hers a long time ago before she got the home. So it's gonna end up putting a retaining wall in here, along here, and then regrading this down. So that's why our sump is set down into the ground a little bit, just so that it's a little bit lower than where the grade will be when it comes time. We ran this out 1.5 inch pipe to one of our mini man, can't think today. We ran it out to one of our mini dry wells, like we do any other system, to one of our pop-ups. These pop-ups, as you've seen like in the other videos and stuff, they open up, you have much more volume of water able to come out of here. There is drainage rock down inside, and also drainage fabric. So what that does is, just like with our other systems, any water that is in the system, it allows it to drain down into the ground after the rain, so that you're not having all that water sitting in the system to get mosquitoes and the tree roots sniffing out that water and wanting to get into the system. Everything's going to stay dry. Same thing with the sump. After the rain, all the water that's in the sump is going to go out the sides and drain out, and this sump will stay dry. So if you're having problems with flooding during the rains, you know, you don't want to wait either. You know, I know we're coming into where the dry season is going to start getting a little bit cooler weather. But a lot of people wait until, you know, it's a problem again in the spring when we're starting to get those heavy rains again, and then you're not able to find the good guys. They don't have time to come out and do it, so they have a lot of guys coming out to do work that, you know, you pay once, you know, cry once, instead of having some come out and put a system in that's not going to last. This system here, they're not going to have to change out. They're not going to have any problems with the clean out, their downspout clean out, and their sediment basins, and that's as much maintenance as they're going to have. And, you know, maybe later on down the road, you know, 10-15 years, the pump, you know, might go out, and switch that out and you're good to go again. So as long as you're building, systems that are gonna last, you're not gonna have to keep spending money on it and worrying about your home flooding, the next hurricane that comes and brings all that water with it. What's gonna happen. Being able to get that water away from your foundation is critical. So if anybody has any questions, or feel free to reach out.